All right, so let's take a look at this problem. They're asked to find the domain, but it's not given to us as a set of ordered pairs or as a graph. It's given to us as an equation. Well, anytime I have an equation, I always start off with my default answer that the domain is all real numbers. But it's all real numbers excluding any values that cause division by zero and excluding any values that would cause us to take the square root of a negative number. And I've mentioned that millions of times. Well, maybe not millions, but I'm gonna pause the video and type it out so that you'll have it. All right, so I'm back. So you can see that I typed this out for you. The domain is the set of all real numbers, excluding, well, any values of x that would cause division by zero, and any values of x that would cause us to take an even root, like a square root of a negative number. Well, in this problem, I don't have any variables in a denominator, and I don't have any variables underneath the square root. So the domain is that default answer. The domain is all real numbers. In interval notation, we write this as we never have brackets around our infinity symbols. It's always a parenthesis. So this describes the set of all real numbers. All right, so let's go ahead and do the next one. And let's bring what I've typed along the way for these next problems, because they apply to, well, anytime we're given an equation, we're finding the domain. So here, this time, I do have variables in a denominator. I don't have any variables underneath the square root, so I don't have to worry about that. But this 3 minus x, I want to make sure that 3 minus x, that there's, to avoid values of x that would cause this expression 3 minus x to equal 0. In other words, 3 minus 3 is 0. If x were equal to 3, it would satisfy this equation. I don't want that denominator to be 0. Therefore, I do not want x to be 3. When you're writing an interval notation, it might help some students to sketch a number line and to shade the portion of the number line that's our domain, and values that if we plug it in, we'll get a y coordinate. It'll be related to some value. So as long as you avoid 3, then any number you pick and plug in, you'll get a corresponding y value. So the domain written in interval notation for this problem, well, the left arrow shaded, and I never have a bracket, all the way up to 3. That's a hollow, so 3 is excluded from this set of numbers, and union, or the following set of numbers that are bigger than 3. So you can see the entire number line was shaded except the number 3. The domain is all real numbers excluding the number positive 3. Hope that helps.